Today, you're going to learn how to win in AI search. If you're confused about what GEO is, what AEO is, and how it's the same or different to SEO, this is the place to start. So we're going to cover all of these things that you see on the screen now, but crucially, you're going to learn the real stuff that you can start implementing right away to improve your search rankings. So first up, search is no longer telling you links, but it's been like that for a while. So sure, Google's AI overviews now appear for over 60% of queries, and yes, ChatGPT is one of the most visited websites in the world, but people have been searching in more than one place for a while. So people search on TikTok, they search on Amazon, they search on Instagram, they search on YouTube, and they even search on Bing. So search is fragmented, but does that mean the era is over? Well, I don't think so, but many people do seem to think so. So here we've got the New York Mag, Forbes, and even the Boston Institute of Analytics all saying that it's game over for SEO. And this is compounded with a new category of tools that have emerged. There's a whole bunch of new GEO or AEO tools. They promise visibility and AI answers, but when you look under the hood, most of them, they give you tactics that seem quite familiar. So let's take a look. So these are taken directly from a well-known AEO or GEO company. They list everything from aligning GEO objectives to structuring content for AI-friendly summaries, and they even give a special mention to EEAT. So when you take their GEO tactics and you map them to their SEO equivalent, in my opinion, the Spider-Man meme comes out. But that's fine. Let's take a step back. We know AI is here to stay, so how do we win? But before we learn how to win and we see how to win, we have to understand how AI search works. So I'm going to give you the boring info now. So when an AI answer provides you with a result without searching the web, that answer is based on its training data. LLMs are predicting a set of words based on their knowledge. However, when web search is enabled, the AI answer is supplemented with information that is retrieved via a search engine API. So the key here is search engine API. Most of the current evidence points to LLMs like ChatGPT actually using Google or Bing search results to deliver results. Now, let's take another step back. The term AI search actually gets thrown around a lot, but the most used AI search engine still belongs to Google. Google's AI overviews are triggered for over 60% of regular searches, and AI mode is now encouraged as a deep dive solution. So even when you search on mobile, you click on that little show more, you're taken into AI mode. The AI answers you see are pulled from a variety of different content. So, answers can be informed by a mix of commercial content, a mix of informational content, or a mix of both. So one of the reasons for this is that AI actually makes more than one search to deliver an answer. Different tools use a slightly different process, but it can be best visualized via Perplexity. So this system is called the query fan-out method. Query fan-out means that the AI system makes additional searches related to your search. So if you're searching for the best cities for remote workers in Europe, the AI might search for something like the best cities for remote workers across Europe 2025, top European cities for digital nomads, or remote work hotspots. So now that you've got this background information, how do you actually win in AI search? Well, the first thing to do is to own your branded searches. If you don't own your brand, someone else will. So make sure you influence AI answers for terms like your brand name plus reviews, or your brand name plus returns, or does your brand name offer this feature? AI is going to answer questions related to your brand and your products, whether you like it or not. So you might as well try and find a way to own the answer. I always tell people to aim to win influence within the AI answer and win the citation. So let's take a look at this example from Vessi and Nike. When you ask Google if Vessi shoes are waterproof, the AI sources from Vessi's website and it links to them. Now compare that to Nike. Sure, Nike are able to influence the AI answer through a third party, but they don't get the citation for the answer. Tip 2 is investing in comparison content. So here, I'm talking about brand A versus brand B. So people love to make comparisons between your product and your competitors' products. If you don't defend yourself, AI is going to find a way to answer that query. might be from Reddit, might be from Trustpilot, and AI might not say good things about your brand. So it's best if you figure out a way to create content for these type of queries. And when you make your content, try and not to rip into your competitors because they can do the same to you. Comparison content also contains listicles. So lists are actually hot right now, and I would rather take a page out of Purple's book than Asana or SEMrush's book. Rather than listing competitors, they just list their top products. In B2B, so some companies have been going in heavy on ranking themselves number one. And this tactic, it's been around for a while, but recent data suggests that Google has been clamping down on this tactic, which I'll get to shortly. But that said, listicles do work, especially to show up in ChatGPT. Ahrefs, they did some research and they said that the whatever best lists represent 43.8% of all page types in ChatGPT. That's a lot, but like I said, Google has also been clamping down on this. The GEO and AE bros out there, they've been helping brands create hundreds of listicles for every ICP. So one thing to remember is that in the name of AI search, do not forget your regular SEO. Next up on the list is investing in third-party mentions. So back in the day, we built links for domain authority. Forget about that now. You should invest in third-party placements, affiliate programs, and partnerships to get yourself into the training data and into more web sources. There's a reason Toyota is the most reliable car brand according to AI. Look at the brand mentions in ChatGPT for car-related queries that contain the term very reliable. Toyota is way out on top. So Toyota actually associate themselves with being very reliable. Aside from making good cars, their website actually contains over 800 pages where the term reliable car is mentioned. They also leverage their newsroom to make sure that their positioning references being a reliable car. So when you combine that with what people say about Toyota, it's clear that AI is, you don't think that Toyota is the most reliable car. Now, one use of GEO tools is to see what pages result in brand mentions. So here you can see that Reddit has nearly double the influence of the next website. You can use this type of data to actually figure out where to invest. And now that actually brings me to Reddit. Just because Reddit influences AI answers, that doesn't mean you spam Reddit. You can get banned from subreddits, or even worse, people could just stop trusting Reddit. Reddit is trusted by Google and AI tools for now, but don't throw all your eggs into their basket. A few months ago, Reddit disappeared from ChatGPT due to a Google API change, and their stock tanked. So you need to diversify your tactics, do a bit of everything I've mentioned so far, especially the next one. Think about investing in video content. So the video citations and AI overviews, they've been going up like a rocket. They kind of declined in February, but in March, they're on their way up again, but they're still way higher than where they were for most of last year. So it's clear that YouTube videos are influencing AI answers and earning citations. And if you don't know where to start, why not start by making videos for how to use your product and then go from there? Lastly, get your SEO fundamentals right. GEO and AEO is pointless without the SEO basics. Make sure your URLs are good. Make sure that you maintain a good technical setup and just get the basics right. You don't need to worry about an LLMs.txt file. You don't need to worry about chunk optimization. Just start doing what I said and you'll be well on your way to winning in AI search. But now the question is, how do you know you're winning? Well, for one, your money and leads will be up, but regardless, we're in an era of dark search and not everything can be directly attributed to a channel. The first impression has become more important than ever before, especially if someone's searching for a product A versus product B in a store. That's just the reality that we're in. We're living in an era of dark search, but there are some things you can do. So you can monitor your branded traffic and watch out for lists in Google Search Console and Bing. Track your prompts. So try and figure out what percentage of your priority keywords return AI overview, and then try and see if you show up in those overviews. Forget overall share of voice. Focus on share of voice for specific prompts that you actually care about the most. Track page one Google and Bing rankings because page one URLs are the primary fuel for Google's AI overviews. And lastly, this is more for B2B, but tracking sales cycles is another good one. So how long do leads from AI channels actually take to close when compared to other channels? So these are just some of the ways you can measure performance in AI channels. And thanks for watching. And if you liked what you saw here, then why don't you subscribe for more videos that can actually show you how to win in both regular and in AI search.